guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and place to be, it's Debsy. That's me, boop, Debsy. Listen, the reason why I'm laughing is because that you saw me do right there, it took me, that was my 5th try trying to get it. How long have I been doing that same intro? And for some reason, it left my mind what I do after I say, hey guys. I don't know. I have no idea why. Is it because it's my 3rd video that I'm making today on Sunday? Maybe. I don't know. But why? Just why? Okay. So welcome back again. I think you're going to be seeing this video. What the hell? You know what? Let's throw this video up on Sunday as well. So this is going to be the 3rd video that you're getting today. We're going to do this 3rd video on Sunday. Yes, there are some days where you get no videos. There are some days when you get 3 videos. So this is the 3rd video. I am getting to Ladies of London, The New Reign. This is the finale. So let's get right into it. We started off with Micah. Micah was putting on she's putting on a show. Micah was putting on a little presentation called The Art of Showing Up. It's basically how you can present yourself in any situation or in any room as the most self-confident person. How to show up. Okay, so coming in there, listen, she was absolute perfection in that custom-made Joshua Kane blazer like coat. It was very military inspired. I loved it on her. I thought she looked adorable. Killer legs. I thought she looked so good. Her husband was also there, and also from the group was Mark and Missy. And Mark and Missy are sitting in the audience, just waiting for her to come out. And they're talking, and Mark is saying he's still kind of feeling the after effects of the weekend at Longleat, and everything that happened with Margot. And Margot opens up to Missy saying that, like, in school, when he was in school, he was the only gay boy, the only gay child at school. So he always had protected himself. Like, he didn't really open himself up to a lot of people, and he only surrounded himself with people that he felt comfortable around. So he's upset with himself that the minute that he lets his guard down, something like this happens. And you can tell that in that moment, it's almost like he's going back to what it felt like back then when he was bullied and when he was made to feel like a freak, and when he just could just barely bear it any longer. And you could tell that he was he was trying to hold it down, but it was too much for him. He started crying a little bit. He got up, walked out. Missy followed him. They talked a little. He pulled it together and he went back out there, and he said that he just felt like mortified that he would make that kind of a scene because he was there for Micah. Micah comes out and she does a great job, and everything goes off without a hitch, which is awesome. Margot, on the other hand, she's with her 2 sons, her 2 sons, and they're talking about the weekend at Longleat, and she did tell her sons that she had a panic attack, and she says that she's talking about Jack. So one of her sons' names is Jackson. So I'm thinking that maybe when she says Jack, she means Jackson, but she thinks that this is something that has maybe like clouded Jack's perception of London. And like she said before, She wants everybody to live in London because she wants to start working again. And she's only really worked as an actress in London, in England. And when she went back over to America and went to Hollywood and tried to get work, they were like, what? No, you're too old and get out of here. So it's very important that everybody is on board with living in London. So she's afraid that something like this might throw a wrench in that. Okay, Lottie and Joshua are having dinner. This is like pre-fashion show. Joshua is talking about really how important this fashion show is to keep the brand growing, because they did have a big success when they dressed Sabrina Carpenter for the Brit Awards, but they want to keep that momentum going. And when somebody had brought up, oh, are you going to take paternity time off, like a month off or anything? And he was like, what? No, I can't do that. He had really balked at doing that. And this is where Lottie is worried about, like, is he going to put in the time as a father, or am I going to lose him to his work? And the reason why she's worried is because her father was a workaholic as well. And she sees that in Joshua. So she's really worried, like, okay, hopefully the dad gene kicks in. She's a little worried. She's a little nervous about this. Okay, and next was Missy visiting her brother's grave. Now, Missy hasn't been to the grave in a while because it always takes her back to her brother's funeral. And it makes her really sad. And so that's why she hasn't been too often. She did bring a friend with her, though. I was so surprised, but so touched when I saw that it was Kimmy. And remember, early on, there was that big fight between the two of them because of what Kimmy had said in the car on the way home from the paint. What was it? No, from the wine trip. So there was that big fight between the two of them. But then remember, they had gotten together, they had talked it out, and Kimmy apologized and everything was fine. But she invited Kimmy because she said that Kimmy reminds Missy of her brother, just in the fact that both Kimmy and her brother are of the thought that no matter what happens, no matter how tough it is, get up and carry on. And they both have a strength. She said they both have a great strength within them. And it seems now that they are, even later on in the show, they're talking and they are very good friends. So listen, this shows that no matter what people say on, sometimes on reality TV shows, they'll say, oh, we're great, everything is good, and the past is the past. And you think, yeah, right, nobody ever really forgives. But these two really have. This was one of my absolute favorite scenes of maybe the whole series, because it just showed that you can forgive and really move on and be great friends. I love that. I thought that was one of my favorite scenes of the whole series. Okay, next we find out that Mark received a text from Margot. She wants to apologize. She wrote that text message with the help of Micah, and she's like, I want to apologize from the soft part of my heart. And so he's going to meet up. He's meeting up with Margot, and he says he's going to listen and he's going to understand. So Margot shows up and she was like, listen, I haven't been kind and I have not been a good friend. She wants to take accountability and she apologizes for what she said. She's like, I don't want to yell. I just want to talk. And I'm going to tell you that I apologize for everything I said. Mark does not want to accept this. Now listen, here's the thing. The only thing you can do is you can apologize. And if they want to accept the apology, then they accept it. If they don't, then they don't. I mean, you can't force somebody to accept an apology. You got it out. So Mark hears all of this and he says that, okay, so what you did to me took me back. He says it took him back to his school days when he was bullied. He was bullied so badly that he actually thought of taking his own life. It was that bad. He's like, I am not prepared to be in a relationship with a narcissist, and I don't want to be around someone who isn't truthful. And Margot hears this, and instead of being like, okay, I understand what you're saying. If you cannot accept my apologies, I can't make you accept it. I am sincerely sorry. I did not mean to hurt you. But if we can't move on, then okay, thank you for meeting with me. We can be civil to each other, but we can't be friends. That's what she should have said. But instead, she goes in and starts talking about like how he comes in immediately, he's touching her, and about how he was flirting with her. And also she says that she wasn't calling him a freak. She was calling his reactions as freaky. Like when he enters the room and he's over the top, she's calling that freaky. Which, to be honest with you, if you are saying that his actions are freaky, then to me, that is you doubling down and calling him freaky. Because if his actions are freaky, then that would mean you think he is. So I don't know why she would include that in there and think that would make him feel better. But she's 125% delusional if she thinks he was flirting with her, and then at the end she's like, I think he wants to F me. Girl, listen, you're a narcissist. I mean, so every man that sees you wants to F you. Emma later on was like, she is not his type. She is not his type. Like, he's just really not that into you at all. So he's like, he laughs off and he's like, what? Okay, no, I see this is going nowhere. I'm leaving. Toodaloo, ta-ta. And he walks away. So a little bit later on, everybody's getting ready for the Joshua Kane fashion show. And Emma's getting her makeup done. It's super early in the morning. It's like 9:57 in the morning. She's getting her makeup done. Mark is just having a little gab session on the side. And he tells her everything about how it went with Margot. He said that he went for the sake of Martha. Like, he loves Martha. And he knows Martha is like very good friends with Margot, but he just went for the sake of Martha because he loves Martha so much. But he could tell right away that was wrong. Like, it was the wrong decision. So he says, I told Margot how I was feeling, what she said made me feel. And Margot comes back with, you're flirting with me and it's making me uncomfortable. If it was making her uncomfortable, like, you would never want to make somebody uncomfortable. But if that was the case, then she maybe should have been like, okay, can you not touch me? I'm really not comfortable. Instead of being like, you're weird, you're a freak. I mean, that's not the way of saying it. And once again, Emma was like, he is not her type at all, and just laughed it off. Okay, so Kimmy and Martha are carpooling to the fashion show, And Martha did have a text exchange with Margot. Margot then, she said Margot blocked me. And Martha is very nervous about seeing Margot at this fashion show. We know that Martha is not the best at confrontation. She does not enjoy it. I'm with Martha. I don't enjoy that. So some of the arrivals at the fashion show, listen, I'm going to tell you, Missy looked phenomenal in that custom Joshua Kane suit. It was perfection on her. Martha comes in with that hat. I love Martha. Mostly everything. I love mostly everything Martha wears. Just about, yeah, everything Martha wears. And then here comes Margot. God knows what Margot is wearing because what? Why? You couldn't cover, I get it, that you are built in the center, you know, but why? It was just like her entire midriff and her back was bare. And then that top stops right at her boobs. It was Nip City. And then that dress, that skirt, no, none of it. That isn't how you dress to go to a fashion show. Listen, I've never been to a fashion show. Wait, was I? I might have been in a fashion show, but it wasn't like high stakes fashion shows. I mean, you know, I've watched fashion shows on Real Housewives of New Jersey, and I might have been maybe at like fashion shows at Lakeview up here in Greensburg. No, I've never been at Fashion Week, but I certainly would know that you wouldn't wear what she was wearing. Margot says that she does want to, before she gets there, she says she does want to talk to Margot because she loves Margot. She has loved Margot for so long, but she just doesn't recognize the Margot the Martha that is now. Martha, let's start that over again. So Martha wants to let's start that over again. So Margot says before she gets there, she wants to talk with Martha. She's like, I love Martha. I have loved Martha forever, but I don't recognize the person that Martha is now. So Martha and Margot talk off to the side. Martha tells Kimmy, listen, Martha is nervous, but I was proud of Martha because she let Margot have it. Like, she went all in and just said exactly what she wanted to say. She's like, since you've come back from America, you've been a different person. I don't recognize you. You are sometimes ungracious, sometimes arrogant, sometimes bitchy. And Margot was like, what? She basically tells Margot tells Martha that basically she says, well, listen, when you're talking to me on the phone or in person, you're not supportive of me. And she also says, listen, the reason why Mark and everybody else is making fun of my clothes is it's because of you. They started making fun of my clothes because they heard you doing it. And Margot's like, what the fuck are you're saying? So I did that. It wasn't, and she didn't say this, I'm saying it. Listen, whether Martha would say something or not, it's the clothes. Mark would have said it anyways. Martha was like, so you're telling me that I'm the reason that Mark was making fun of your clothes. And Margot's like, I never said that. Then they played the tape that just ran like 8 seconds ago. And of course, there she is. She is saying that. Margot then says, well, listen, we never had a problem in our relationship and our friendship until Mark came around. And it sounded to me like it was Margot giving an ultimatum without giving an ultimatum. Like, it's either me or them. Like, you pick me as a friend or you pick them as friends. And she wants her to give up her other friends. And Martha's not about to do that. Margot's like, listen, we're not getting anywhere, and we're just not getting anywhere. Let's leave, because this isn't getting anywhere. Margot says Margot's like, I love Martha, and we're in it to win it. Martha, on the other hand, is saying we need a break. And then we see that they took a little bit of a break and they were talking again for now. But listen, Martha was on Watch What Happens Live with Emma, and they in fact are not talking. It does not look like there is a friendship between Martha and Margot. They have the little updates. Martha is riding again. Martha went out to see her horse. I think her horse's name is Daphne. She went out to see the horse. She was riding again. She looked so happy. I'm going to tell you, one of my other favorite scenes from this entire series was when it was Micah's birthday party and they did the polo match. And then afterwards, Martha just rode a horse. That was one of my favorite scenes as well, because she looked so happy. Like, she just looked in her element and just blissful and just so happy. So she is back to riding again, and she feels like things are taking a turn for the good. 12 weeks after the finale, Lottie gave birth to a baby boy, Ezra Beau Dale Kane. And Lottie says that she doesn't have to worry because Joshua is a great dad. Like, he's there at night for them, and he wakes up in the morning to help take care of the baby, and he's a great father. That is so awesome to hear. Micah, who at the beginning, if you remember in the very first episode, Micah thought Dara was like her best friend. What am I going to do without Dara? As it turns out, she didn't need her at all, because she has some just great friends now. So sitting there, it was everybody except for Margot, and this finale ended. I have written this finale ended perfectly. Like, they're tighter than ever, and it was really nice to see. It was nice to see a finale of a reality TV show end on like such a happy note, such a good happy note, where people aren't still fighting. But it seems like any fighting that had occurred, well, with the exception of Margot and Mark, were solved. And like I said, Kimmy and Missy are great friends. So that's awesome. It made me very happy. It put a smile on my face to see this end so well. I hope they bring the show back, because I did enjoy it. I really did enjoy it. If you guys watched, let me know in the comments. And this, my friends, I promise, is the very last video for today. I absolutely promise it is the last one. I don't have another one in me. So listen, if nobody told you yet today, you're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world, so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Treat everybody the way you would want to be treated. Also, let's be aware of our surroundings. Be smart and safe. We're hydrating with water all day today, because I got so little yesterday. And if nobody told you, and also remember, if you are in a dangerous situation, please know Dolly and I are sending out our love, thoughts, and many prayers your way so you make it through. Love you guys. This is the last time you'll see this face today. So I'll see you tomorrow. Everybody, let's start off tomorrow fantastically. So we'll see you tomorrow with a recap and a reaction to Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Ooh, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye.